Hi, this is Dean Graziosi, and welcome back to this week's blog. Hey, if you're new to the site, congratulations for being here. Please poke around the site, click all the links down on this side, watch some of the old video blogs. Now, if you have questions, a lot of the questions you may have already been answered, so you can go in and search the forums, because sometimes you might have a question, how do you do a tax sale? How do you do it with no money down? What's the real contract you use for an assignment? What's a double close? How do I find buyers? What kind of bandit sign should I use? Believe me, all those questions have been asked, and the wonderful students and successful students and newbies have talked about it and answered those questions right here on this site. So when you have a question, check and see if it's already here, and if not, post it. We had amazing people on this site. This is just a site of people helping people. Remember, when the whole world tells you you're crazy for wanting to try something new, that real estate won't work, or anything else you want to do doesn't work, or thinking positive doesn't work, come to this site. This is the site that shows you everything and anything you can conceive is possible. Dreams are being answered every single day on this site. Hey, it's funny. I just got this magazine. This is the Insider's Edge magazine. It's a magazine that gets handed out at our live events. It's really awesome. They go around. They're live events that are going on all around the country. And this is the first time I saw it. I know I was interviewed for the magazine. In fact, they got a big old picture of me in here, which is pretty cool. It's a great little article, and they got some pictures they did an interview with Joe Jurek and Stacy. If you guys are watching, hey, good seeing you. It's an awesome interview. I just read it. Congratulations for being in the magazine. And let's see what else we have here. There's a couple of things. Sorry, I'm just flipping through this while you guys we talk about tax liens in here. And here's another student, Chad Maryhugh. Awesome. Chad's a great young guy. He's a youth pastor. He's been doing amazing things. He makes some great money with real estate so he can follow his passion and help teens get on the right track for a successful life. And then there's this really good-looking guy here. No, I'm just kidding. There's my family, if you could see a picture. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this magazine up, not just to talk about pictures of me and some of our successful students who made the magazine, but it's funny. I didn't write these, but it says, in the back page, it says the 7 deadly roadblocks to success. And it's funny, so many of the things that I share with you guys, or I preach week after week, are in here, and these weren't written by me. So it says the 7 deadly roadblocks are fear, number 1. Fear of something different. Fear of people thinking that you're crazy. Fear of failure. Fear can be paralyzing. But you know what? Just think back. A good way to overcome fear is think of other things in the past that you were fearful of, but once you got through them, everything changed. And I hate, so many times I go back to talking about kids, but literally this morning, this isn't a made-up story. I never make up stories, but this one is just dear to my heart, because this morning I brought my daughter to school. And her best friend, and if you guys have young kids or had young kids, my daughter's only 4 and a half. She's in preschool. And her best friend for the first half of the year, her and her best friend don't really talk anymore. Her best friend got a new friend. And my daughter is so afraid to go to school without her best friend. And literally this morning, I was bringing her to class, and she made me carry her, 4 and a half years old, and I love carry her. I'll carry her until she doesn't want me to anymore. But she was afraid to go into class. She said, "Daddy, please, can I just hang out with you today? I don't want to go to school." And she was so afraid. And I felt so bad, and finally she shared it. Katie, her friend Katie, doesn't talk to her anymore. And I did my best to share with her that that's life. And, a 4-year-old, I'm doing the best to do what I do with you guys each week with my 4-year-old. So I finally convinced her to go into the class. And she was so afraid, and she looked back, and she was looking at me with her big eyes. And I felt horrible. I literally had a knot in my stomach all day until her mom picked her up at 1 o'clock today and called and said she had the most amazing day. How many times in life have you been afraid to talk in front of an audience, or present an opportunity to your boss, or ask a girl or a guy on a date? All those things that you're so fearful of, and then after you do it, it's like this calming feeling. I know my daughter in her little space today had that. So what are you afraid of? Look in the past. You've had fearful things that have turned out amazing. Don't be afraid. Go for it. So I'm not going to go deep on all of them, but 2 is being lazy. 3 is lack of perseverance. Number 4 is pessimism. Listen, we talked about that week after week. Here's number 5, not taking responsibility. It's someone else's fault. I didn't do this. Listen, in a lot of cases, it is someone else's fault. I get it, but it doesn't mean they're going to fix it. So you have to. So you need to take responsibility for where you are, and especially where you want to go. Number 6, picking the wrong people to hang out with. I don't think I could stress that anymore. We talk about that week after week. Who you hang around is who you become. If you want to know how you think about the world, if you're positive or negative, find the top 3, 4 people you hang out with, and you're right in the middle. So if 3 of them are really negative and one's kind of positive, well, you're somewhere in the middle. Only because the people you hang around rub off on you. It is what it is. So if there's a lot of negative people in your life and you love them, don't stop loving them. Just find some new people. Spend more time here. Search and find people that want that bigger future just like you do. And number 7 is no vision. You're looking at what's going on in your life right here, 6 inches away, and a lot of times it's craziness. I know that. But you got to sometimes look over the craziness and have a vision of where you want to go so you can be engaged, so you can push to get there. So I think that was really awesome to see. It's a great magazine and some really great points to live by and understand that anything is possible and you could do it. You know, one last thing, you know, I don't watch the news. I don't read the paper, and some of you might disagree with that, and I apologize, but I just can't. I can't take in the negative. I don't have time. I can't do all the things I do with you, and I have 50 real estate deals going on right now. I'm finishing up a new book. I do these blogs every week. We have hundreds of employees around the country. We have live events. We have our top students becoming teachers. I mean, the list goes on. You know all the things that you see. Could you imagine all the things behind the scenes? And plus, I try really hard to be a really good dad. It's important to me. So I decided that news is not a part of my life. And reading about it or watching it, because I just can't go down the negativity route, and I basically don't have time for it. But I know from everybody telling me that the government almost shut down. I know you're probably saying, really, Dean, you didn't know that? No, I didn't really know it until like Sunday when someone shared the whole process that was going on. But here's one thing that supports what I do of not watching the news. There is nothing I could have done to stop the government if they were going to close down. There's nothing I can do right now to fix the budget. Now, I can vote, I can suggest, I can do my part, I can pay a lot of taxes, but I can't change that. The people I worry about are those kids that you saw earlier, my family. The people I worry about are you, my students, that I can give techniques to and capabilities and wisdom. That's all I know. So you don't have to be as extreme as me. But if the news is hindering you, if the current events paralyze you of where's our country going, what's going to happen, I don't think our country's going in a good direction. But I don't think I can do anything about it except protect my family and my income and help you do the same thing. I'm Dean Graziosi. I'll talk to you next week.